Good morning, channel, and welcome to Robert White Photography. You know, I love in North Texas when winter starts approaching, we get some great conditions for shooting. A lot of times the colder air mass will come in from the northwest, land over top of the warm lakes and the warm land, and you wake up to mornings like this, just a pretty good fog cover. And I love shooting in fog, so I thought I'd take you with me this morning as I go to one of my favorite nature walks, and let's see what interesting photos we can capture here in the fog. Stay tuned. Yeah, it certainly is pretty out here with the fall colors. A little bit of fog for some moody atmosphere. I wish the fog was a little thicker, but I'll take it. Coming to you this morning on my X5, Insta360 X5 360 camera. Also my Insta360 Go Ultra here on my jacket. I'm shooting this morning with my Canon R5, my beloved Canon R5. Today I brought the 24-105 lens. And let's just see what we can get. I love this section of this path. It's really overgrown, trees overhanging the path. Makes for some beautiful shots year-round. Let's walk back in here for a second. That's kind of a pretty setting. Be careful where you step out here. Check out that tree over there. Just barely hanging on by its roots. Yeah, let's see what we can get here without falling over the edge. A little bit of fall color, running water. There we go. Make sure to focus on that tree. I've got my ISO set to auto, shutter speed at 1/125th of a second, and this lens allows me to do a wide open aperture at 4.0. That setting gives me an ISO of 320, which is absolutely no problem. This R5 also takes awesome video, so I'm capturing some of that right now. All right, I think to give this a little more interesting surround, I'm going to try to get some of this foreground, this interesting, looks like a pine tree. Let it frame up the bottom of this shot. Get some of this dead grass out of the way. see what we got here. Oh yeah. All right, I'm going to have to focus stack this. I'm going to take one picture of the creek and then another picture of the foreground here. We'll see if we can't combine those in post. Sometimes it's a little difficult. And sometimes it's the little things. It's not the giant streams, the giant trees, it's the little things you keep your eye out for, like these red berries against this green, evergreen backdrop. Wow, very Christmassy and very pretty. Let's see what I can capture here. Find a good angle. Yeah, let's try this. Focus on the berries. This almost needs a longer lens. Good news is, with this many megapixels, you can really crop in. Love the sound of running water. There is a piece to it. Look at the limestone. Look at how deep the layers of limestone go. That's pretty much the picture of most of North Texas. You get down 2 or 3 feet of brown dirt, you get the limestone. Well, that's pretty with the bridge back there. Can I get a better angle without busting my you-know-what? Nope, can't see the bridge from back here. Okay. Let's get this limestone. I'll have to Photoshop my camera tripod out of the shot. Let's get a little lower. Yeah, I like that better. Get the picture level because I have a level right here on the screen. Right. Now let's see about that bridge. Yeah, this is a better viewpoint. So peaceful out here this morning. Really does the soul
good. If any of you guys follow my motorcycle channel, you're probably aware earlier this year I lost my daughter. 34-year-old daughter passed away from a heart attack in the middle of the night. And it's been, it's been some pretty dark days. But days like today, the peace of it all, my photography, my family is, helping me get through it. All right, let's get this bridge. Yeah, I like that setting. I think I'm gonna try a vertical shot first. And again, I tend to like to get low. Let's see, focus on the bridge up here. So down here in this creek bed, auto ISO. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know how I got to F13. Not sure how that happened. I'm sure I hit something. Let's try that shot one more time. Yeah, it was spiking my ISO up to 1,000 or more, which would be okay too, but not necessary. But I can capture it at F4. And that's giving me an ISO of 160. Very nice. Let's take a horizontal. Again, focusing on the bridge. ISO of 125 here. Get the camera level. There we go. Take a second one in case the bridge blinked. And as these layers of limestone wash away and fade away, they reveal ancient fossils, which are pretty cool. Let me show you some of them with my Go Ultra here. They're just all over here. I'm not sciencey enough to know if that's a fossil or just a permanent impression of a fossil that's long gone. Interesting stuff though. Way older than me. Oh, I love these trees with these sort of bead-like berries hanging on them. Beautiful. Not sure what kind of tree it is. If you guys know, leave a comment down below. Yeah, let's see if we can't capture some of this beauty. Here we go. I was right in this very spot some years ago when I captured one of my best shots of a white crane searching for a meal in this creek bed up there. Just turned out to be beautiful. You stumble onto these things in nature and wildlife photography that sometimes just make you go, wow. I'll put that up on the screen right now. This limb's hanging down lower than it ever has. This is a section of the path some years ago that when I'm taking photographs of people, I like to come here. Took a photo of my daughter right here. And took a photo of another good friend from work as she was expecting her first child, her and her husband. Let me show you those two right now. I've shot this particular stretch, I mean, in all kinds of seasons. Totally green and overgrown in the summer. Fall with just some rich colors. Here, the onset of winter, everything's kind of died, but you get the fog and a crispness in the air that just really feels great. And then in winter, when it's snow and ice. Oh, hello, Redbird. I don't think you guys can see him on this camera. There he goes. Wish you wouldn't fly off. Would have been a great shot. Redbirds, while they're everywhere, they're hard to shoot. They don't sit still. Oh my goodness. Look what somebody has done here. In this section of hollowed out tree. How cute is that? Got a window over here. Oh, that's creative, somebody. Very creative. All right, let's get some shots of that. I think that made my day. All right, so a guy that just walked up behind me while I was filming that other segment, I mentioned to him how impressed I was with somebody's artistic creativeness here. Come to find out, he's the guy that put it down. When his young nephew came to visit, he did this. I didn't catch his name, but well done, my friend, well done. That was so cool. All right, in the starkness of all these dead leaves now down on the ground, we got this one tree here with a lighter color bark and some yellow leaves still hanging on. Really pretty. Let's see if we can capture that. Yeah, it's really making it dark with that light background. Let me see if I can lighten it up. No, with auto ISO, it's not going to let me manually lighten it up. So let me put ISO at about 800 and set it there, and then I can lighten up these leaves, I think. Zoom in a little bit. There we go. That might do it. Beautiful. So I was chatting with the guy that created that little treehouse a minute ago, and he said out front on that little post that you see, a little metal post, he hung a ceramic acorn. Boy, that would have completed that photo. It's a great photo anyway, but would have completed that photo. And he said, I guess when they came to blow the leaves off the path, the landscape people, you know, blew that acorn away or something, but it was no longer visible or anywhere around. What great creativity that guy had. Well done, sir. Just well done. You made my morning walk absolutely worth it. And see, just get out. Get out, explore, get out, photograph. You never know what you're going to find, what you're going to run into. Many times it's nothing. Many times you get back home without a photo or just a mediocre photo. And then sometimes, like some I've shown here and hopefully some I've taken today, you come across something really special. Anyway, that was a good lesson a minute ago with that yellow leafed tree with the white bark. These cameras today, they're so good at capturing light at astronomical ISOs and not introducing any grain or noise at those levels that I normally shoot on auto ISO. I'll let the camera pick the ISO. Let me focus on the shutter speed and the aperture. You know, the exposure triangle. Let me pick those things. And that all works fine and good. It's one of my favorite ways of shooting. Until you get to an instance like we were facing a second ago, where I really need the camera to darken down the exposure because I wanted to capture the color of those leaves on a light background. Well, every time I adjust shutter speed or aperture to do that, if it's still on ISO, it's still going to meter that light background, and it's going to crank it's going to crank that ISO up until it thinks it's a balanced photo. And so I never am able, oh, this is pretty green moss. I got to get some of that. Anyway, never able to take that photo when it's set at auto ISO, so I have to cut it down and do it all manually. Well, channel, I hope you enjoyed your time today with me. I hope maybe you learned a little bit. If not, you just enjoyed walking through beautiful nature with me and seeing some of the sights. Thank you for tuning into this channel and watching my videos. I really appreciate you. We'll see you again soon. Until then, happy shooting.